everybody, and welcome to Final Play Sports Wrap, where I'm your host, Pete Lubar, and we are covering the end of the college football season for the Mountain West in our sports wrap-up. And so we're going to start in the conference championship game, which was held 2 weeks ago. Boise State competed against UNLV. Not entirely sure how they picked that, but somehow between Boise State, UNLV, New Mexico, and San Diego State, all with 6-2 records, they came out with Boise State and UNLV as the best two based on computer rankings. It may not have been the best matchup. I think a lot of people would have liked to have seen Boise State versus New Mexico, but nevertheless, that game was played. Boise State beat UNLV 38-21. They got up 21-0 before Anthony Calandrea led the Rebels to two second quarter TDs. Rebels trailed 28-14 at the half. The Rebels then added a third quarter score to make it 28-21, but that's as close as they got as the Broncos added 10 points in the fourth quarter. Maddox Madsen was 17 for 31 for 289 yards and 3 TDs. He ran for another TD. He had a terrific game. Anthony Calandrea did his best to keep the Rebels close, passing for 225 and 1 TD and rushing for 66 yards and 1 TD. Boise, as the conference champ, traveled to the LA Bowl. I think it's called the Bucked Up LA Bowl, which sounds awfully bucked up to me, but that's all right. So it's kind of a bucked up bowl because Boise State has to play on a Friday after playing the conference championship game Friday night. So sort of a short week. They have to travel. They have to do the bowl stuff. So I bet they may have had one day to prepare for Washington. Washington, on the other hand, it wasn't in a game in week 15, so they had time off. They got rested. They could practice. And they probably anticipated that Boise State would win, as they have so many times against UNLV in the past. And so they probably studied Boise a little bit more. The net result of that is they killed Boise. Washington won 38-10. Huskies forced 5 interceptions by the Broncos, 2 of them which led to touchdowns. They scored 21 points in the second period to lead 24-3 at half. They added 2 more touchdowns in the second period to put the Broncos away. Broncos got a meaningless touchdown late in the game. So that is it for Mountain West football. There's a couple of bowl games left that may or may not be of interest to you, but we've got the famous Potato Bowl, and Utah State is playing in that against Washington State. That should be a fun game. Utah State is 3.5-point favorite. I suspect that they can win that game by that. Maybe it's going to be close. I'm going to say like Utah State by 4, so that's just barely winning over the spread. We have the ever popular Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl, where UNLV is a 3.5 favorite over Ohio. I suspect they'll win that game. We have the Sheridan Hawaii Bowl, where Cal is a 2.5-point favorite over Hawaii. Hawaii is going to win that game, and I say that because when teams go to the Hawaiis, when they go to the islands, they tend to think they're on vacation. They say the laos and the beach and the bikinis, and they don't spend as much time worrying about the business trip. And so I suspect Hawaii, who's really good at home, will actually upset Cal in this game. In the Rate Bowl, we have New Mexico versus Minnesota. It's a bit of a surprise for New Mexico. I think they thought they were going to be in the New Mexico Bowl, but now they're traveling to Phoenix against a pretty good Minnesota team out of the Big Ten. Minnesota is favored by 2.5. The New Mexico Bowl now has San Diego State in it. And they are playing a very good North Texas team, a team that was in the final top 25 standings. And they are, North Texas is a 4.5-point favorite. This is a strength versus strength kind of deal where San Diego State defense is going to go against North Texas offense. And it should be a highly entertaining game. And then we have the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, where we have Fresno State has a 2.5 favorite over Miami of Ohio. So that's the remaining games in the football season, and then from a football standpoint, the 5 teams that are leaving, or 4 teams leaving to go to, I guess it is 5 teams. 5 teams leaving for the Pac 8.5 will be done with the Mountain West. So that is San Diego State, Fresno State, Utah State, Colorado State, and Boise State. In other news, Anthony Calandrea was Offensive Player of the Year, quarterback for UNLV, terrific quarterback, and if he comes back, he's not poached away during the transfer portal, he will be favored for Offensive Player of the Year again, and certainly will keep UNLV near the top of the conference. Defensively, the Defensive Player of the Year was Jason Eck, linebacker for New Mexico, and Chris Johnson, the linebacker for San Diego State. Eck is a junior, so he'll be back next year, as he already announced that. And Chris Johnson is a senior, so he'll be probably drafted by the NFL. Coach of the Year was Jason Eck of New Mexico. You could have probably picked any number of coaches. I think certainly UNLV did a great job. San Diego State did a great job. But Eck was the leader of a team that was predicted to be 1-11 this year and 0-8 in conference. And so you cannot argue with the success he had leading New Mexico to a 9-3 record in his first year. So well-deserved honor for Jason Eck of New Mexico. From a recruiting standpoint, the first initial signing period is now just about over. I think it ends sometime this week. But UNLV, New Mexico, and Northern Illinois and UTEP classes were ranked the best in the Mountain West. Boise, Colorado State under Jim Mora, and Washington State were ranked highest in the Pac 8.5. And so we'll see how those classes change based on what happens in the transfer portal. I suspect that every team will lose between 10 and 20 players, and they'll bring 10 and 20 in from other programs. So there's going to be quite a bit of change, but at least right now, based on mostly freshmen and transfers that came in from junior college, UNLV, New Mexico, Northern Illinois, and UTEP were the best in the Mountain West. So football season is over. Next week we'll dive into basketball. And a lot of stuff's been going on the first 5 weeks of the conference. The Mountain West doesn't look particularly strong, although Boise is probably the best team. And surprisingly, a team like New Mexico, who's replacing everyone, including their coach, has started off 9-2. So it's going to be a very interesting Mountain West conference this year, and we'll get into it more next week. So happy holidays, everyone. I really appreciate you. If you like this, please subscribe to my YouTube page, and hope everyone has a great new year. I appreciate you, and take care. Bye.